I saw a strange sight. I stumbled upon a story most interesting. Like nothing my life, my street sense, my sly tongue had ever prepared me for. Hush, child. Hush now. And I will tell it to you. Even before the dawn one Friday morning, I noticed a young man, handsome and strong. He was walking the alleys of our city. He was pulling an old cart filled with clothes both bright and new. And he was calling in a clear tenor voice,
"Rags!"
Ugh. The air was so foul, and the first light filthy, to be crossed by such sweet music.
"Rags! Rags! New rags for old! I take your tired rags! Rags!"
Now, this is a wonder, I thought to myself, for the man stood tall, and his arms were like tree limbs, hard and muscular, and his eyes, they flashed intelligence. Could he find no better job than this? To be a ragman in the inner city? I followed him. My curiosity drove me, and I wasn't disappointed. Soon, the ragman saw a woman and her child sitting on her back porch. She was sobbing into a handkerchief, sighing and shedding 1,000 tears. Her knees and elbows made a sad X. Her shoulders shook. Her heart was breaking. The ragman stopped his cart. Quietly, he walked to the woman, stepping around tin cans and trash.
"Give me your rag, and I'll give you another."
He slipped the handkerchief from her eyes. She looked up, and he laid across her palm a linen cloth so clean and new that it shined. She blinked from the gift to the giver. Then, as he began to pull his cart again, the ragman did a strange thing. He put her stained handkerchief to his own face, and then he began to weep, to sob as grievously as she had done. His shoulders shaking. Yet she was left without a tear. "This is a wonder," I breathed to myself, and I followed the sobbing ragman like a child who cannot turn away from a mystery.
"Rags! New rags for old?"
In a little while, when the sky showed gray behind the rooftops, and I could see shredded curtains hanging out of black windows, the ragman came upon a boy. His head was wrapped in a bandage. His eyes were empty. Blood soaked his bandage. A single line of blood ran down his cheek. Now the tall ragman looked upon this child with pity, and he took a lovely yellow scarf from his cart.
Give me your rag, and I'll give you mine.
The child could only gaze at him while he loosened the bandage, removed it, and tied it to his own head. The scarf he gave the boy. And I gasped at what I saw, for with the bandage went the wound. Against his brow, it ran a darker, more substantial blood. His own.
Rags! I take old rags.
The ragman cried out. The sobbing, bleeding, strong, intelligent ragman. The sun hurt both the sky now and my eyes. The ragman seemed more and more to hurry.
Are you going to work? Do you have a job?
What? Are you crazy?
She pulled away from the pole, revealing the right sleeve of her jacket. Flat, the cuff stuffed into the pocket. She had no arm.
So what? Give me your jacket, and I'll give you mine.
Such quiet authority in his voice. The one-armed woman took off her jacket. So did the ragman. And I trembled at what I saw. For the ragman's arm stayed in its sleeve, and when the other put her jacket on, she had two good arms, thick as tree limbs, but the ragman had only one.
Now go to work.
After that, he came upon a drunk. He was lying unconscious beneath an army blanket. He was an old man, hunched, shriveled, and sick. He took the blanket from the drunk and wrapped it around himself. But for the drunk, he left a new blanket. And now, I had to run to keep up with the ragman, though he was weeping uncontrollably and bleeding freely at the forehead, pulling his cart with one arm, stumbling for drunkenness. He fell again and again, exhausted, old, and sick. Yet he went with terrible speed. On spider's legs, he skittered through the alleys of our city, this mile and the next, until he came to its limits, and then he rushed beyond. I wept to see the change in this man. I hurt to see his sorrow. And yet, I needed to see where he was going in such haste, perhaps to know what drove him so. The little old ragman, he came to a landfill. He came to the garbage pits. And I wanted to help him in what he did, but I hung back, hiding. He climbed that hill. With tormented labor, he cleared a little space on that hill. He sighed. He lay down. He pillowed his head, covered his bones, and he died. Oh, how I cried to witness that death. I slumped nearby and wailed and mourned as one who has no hope, because I had come to love him. Every other face had faded in the wonder of this one man, and I cherished him, but he died. I began to sob myself to sleep. I did not know. How could I know that I slept through Friday night, and Saturday night, and it's night too. But then, on Sunday, I was wakened by a violence. Light, pure, hard, demanding light, slammed against my sour face. And I blinked, and I looked, and I saw the last and the first wonder of all. There was the Ragman, folding the blanket most carefully, a scar on his forehead, but he was alive, and besides that, healthy. There was no sign of sorrow nor of age, and all the rags that he had gathered, they shined for cleanliness. Well, I lowered my head, and trembling for all that I had seen, I myself walked up to the Ragman and told him my name with shame. For I was a sorry figure next to him. Then I took off my old rags in that place, and I said to him with dear yearning in my voice, "He dressed me, my Lord, he put new rags on me, and I am a wonder beside him. The Ragman, the Christ."